Bishop f6, sacrificing the bishop on f6. At the same time, brilliant move. Queen takes d5, sacrificing the queen on d5. At the same time, brilliant move of Fabiano Caruana in SuperBet Romania Chess Classic 2024, Round Robin, Round 11. Hello, my fellow chessers. I'm gonna show to you, my fellow chessers, the chess game between Fabiano Caruana and Alireza Firouzja in SuperBet Romania Chess Classic 2024, Round 11, Round Robin. This match is rapid mode, 10 minutes plus 5 seconds increment. So let's begin on c4, e5, d3, Bishop b4. This is English opening, King's English variation. This is like Sicilian defense reverse variation. So let's continue the game. Knight d2, c5, knight f3, knight c6, g3, d6, bishop g2, knight g e7, castles kingside, bishop a5, b3, castles kingside, bishop b2, h6, e3, bishop e6, d4, e takes d4, e takes d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight takes d4, bishop takes d4, d5, c takes d5, bishop takes d5, knight e4, mistake of Fabiano Caruana. The best continuation on this position is queen g4, attacking the pawn on g7, my fellow chessers, threatening checkmate on g7. So let's continue the game. Knight e4, mistake of Fabiano Caruana. Knight c6, x or mistake of Alireza Firouzja. The best continuation on this position is f5, my fellow chessers, attacking the knight on e4. So let's continue the game. Knight c6, bishop f6, brilliant move, and at the same time sacrificing the bishop on f6 of Fabiano Caruana. At the same time attacking the queen on d8. Oh. So let's continue the game. G takes f6, queen takes d5, brilliant move of Fabiano Caruana. At the same time sacrificing the queen on d5. Ooh, wow. So queen e7. Why Alireza Firouzja didn't take the queen on d5? Example, if queen takes d5, we have knight takes f6, as you can see, my fellow chessers, attacking the king on g8 and at the same time attacking the queen on d5, my fellow chessers. Ooh, that's why Alireza Firouzja didn't take the queen on d5. So let's continue the real game. Queen e7. Rook a c1, mistake of Fabiano Caruana. The best continuation on this position to maintain the decisive advantage for white. Queen h5, my fellow chessers, attacking the pawn on h6. So let's continue the real game. Rook a c1, rook a d8, mistake of Alireza Firouzja. The best continuation on this position is queen e5, challenge the queen on d5. Okay, so let's continue the game. Rook a d8, queen f5, good move of Fabiano Caruana. Attacking the pawn on f6. So let's continue the game. Let's continue. King g7, rook takes c6, brilliant move of Fabiano Caruana, sacrificing the rook to knight. So let's continue the game. Wow. B takes c6, queen takes a5, rook d5, attacking the queen on a5. Okay. Queen c3, Rook F D8, G5, G4. Queen E5 attacking the queen on C3. So let's continue. Queen takes E5, F takes E5, Bishop F3. As you can see, my fellow chessers, Bishop Knight versus one Rook versus Rook. Oh, so let's continue the game. Rook A5 attacking the pawn on A2. Rook C1 attacking the pawn on C6. Rook takes A2, Rook takes A2, Rook B2 attacking the pawn on B3. King G2, Rook takes B3, Knight G3. Rook B6 challenging the Rook on C6. Rook C7 attacking the pawn on A7. A6, Knight F5 check on G7. King F8, Rook A7, Rook F6, Bishop E4, Rook G6 attacking the pawn on G4. King F3, Rook B6, H4, King E8, H5, Rook D7 attacking the Rook on A7, Rook A8, Rook D8, Rook takes D8, King takes D8, G5, King D7, Knight takes H6, King E6, Bishop F5 check, King E7, Knight G4 threatening the pawn on E5. A5, H6, A4, H7, Rook B8, Knight F6 mistake of Fabiano Caruana. The best continuation on this position is Knight takes E5, capturing the pawn on E5. Okay, so let's continue the game. Knight F6, Rook H8, good move of Alireza Firouzja. Bishop B1, A3, King E4, King F8, King takes E5, King G7, Knight H4, H5 check, King F8, Knight F6, King G7, Bishop A2, attacking the pawn on F7. So let's continue the game. Rook B8, F4, Rook C8 mistake of Alireza Firouzja. The best continuation on this position is Rook B5 check on E5 King. So let's continue the game. Rook C8 mistake, King D4 blunder of Fabiano Caruana. The best continuation on this position is Knight H5 check the king on G7. Oh, so let's continue the game. King D4, Rook C2 attacking the bishop on A2. So let's continue the game. Bishop takes F7 sacrifice. A2. Why? Why Alireza Firouzja didn't take the bishop on F7? Example, King takes F7. We have H8 Queen, my fellow chessers. That's why Alireza Firouzja didn't take the bishop on F7. So let's continue. A2. Bishop takes A2. Rook takes A2. King E4, Rook A4, King F5, Rook A5, King G4, Rook A6. As you can see, the evaluation bar is equal, my fellow chessers. Okay, so let's continue the game. King H5, Rook C6, F5. Rook A6 mistake of Alireza Firouzja. The best continuation on this position is King H8. Okay. So let's continue the game. Rook A6, King G4 mistake of Fabiano Caruana. The best continuation on this position is knight d7. Okay, to maintain the advantage of white. Okay, so let's continue the game. King G4, as you can see the evaluation bar there. So let's continue the game. King G4 mistake or X of Fabiano Caruana. Rook C6 X or mistake of Alireza Firouzja. The best continuation on this position is King H8 again. Oh, so let's continue the game. Rook C6 mistake, King F4 mistake of Fabiano Caruana. The best continuation on this position is G6. Oh, why? If Rook takes F6, we have King G5 and then Rook A6, F6. If Rook takes F6, we have King H8 or H8 Queen, my fellow chessers. And we have King takes H8, King takes F6, King G8, G7, King H7, King S7. As you can see, the unstoppable promotion of white on G8. So let's continue the game. Okay. So I explain only, okay? So King G4, Rook F4, Rook A6 mistake. The best continuation in this position is Rook C4. Oh, so let's continue the game. Rook A6, King E5 mistake of Fabiano Caruana. The best continuation on this position is G6. Okay, so let's continue the game. King E5, Rook A5, King E6, Rook A6, good move. King E7, Rook A7, King E6, Rook A6, King E5, Rook A5, King F4, Rook A4, King G3, Rook A6, King G4, Rook C6 mistake of Alireza Firouzja. The best continuation on this position is Rook A4 check. Okay, to maintain the drawish position, my fellow chessers. Okay, so let's continue the game. Rook C6, King H4 mistake of Fabiano Caruana. The best continuation on this position is G6. So let's continue the chess game. King H4, H5, Rook A6, Knight D7, King takes H7, F6, Rook A5, F7, Rook F5, Queen or F8, Queen, Rook takes G5. Wow! Sacrificing the Rook on G5. King H4 is a good move of Fabiano Caruana. Why? Why Fabiano Caruana didn't take the Rook on G5? Example, Rook takes G5. We have draw or equal or stalemate, my fellow chessers. That's why Fabiano Caruana moved the King H4, my fellow chessers. Rook H5, King G4, Alireza Firouzja resigns the game. Why? Because as you can see, no more check on this position, my fellow chessers. Example, King Rook G5, we have King F4, and we have example King G4, we have King takes G4.